Good morning, students. This is class 9 computer application class. Today we'll start chapter 3. Actually, we have already started chapter 3, that ASCII code and Unicode we have already discussed in our last class. Okay, so today we will discuss about tokens. What is token? Java tokens are smallest element of a program which are identified by the compiler. Tokens in Java include identifiers, keyword, literals, operators, and separators. Token can be classified as follows: tokens, keywords, identifiers, constants, special symbols, operators. So now, what is token in a Java program? If you are writing something, so in the program, step by step, line by line, we are writing a program. So in program, the words which we are using to complete the program, that each and every word is called one token. Okay, now we can classify the words in different groups, that means the tokens in different groups. There are five groups. These are keywords, identifiers, constants, special symbols, and operators. Now we will discuss one by one. Okay, now first keywords. Keyword are predefined or reserved words in a programming language. Each keyword is meant to perform a specific function in a program. Since keywords are referred names for a compiler that cannot be used as variables names, because by doing so we were trying to assign a new meaning to the keyword which is not allowed. Java language supports following keywords. Now, what is keyword? Keyword is are some pre-designed words which are already designed in Java, and we have to use them as by default. For example, you see, these are some keywords which we can use in the Java program. I marked some words as red color. You can see these you are familiar with these words: break, byte, case. I am reading just the red mark words. Okay, break, byte, case, char, class, default, do, double, else, float, for, if, import, int, long, new, static, public switch, then void, while. These are some pre-design. As when you are declaring a class, public class, you have to write public class, then you have to write your class name. No, so the public and class, these two words are fixed. You have to use them as by default. So that is why these words are called keywords. Same case, when you are writing a program on basis of switch case program, so that time also you have to use case 1, case 2, case 3. So this case word is a fixed word, it is a keyword. Okay, the other word which are in black, in black color, these till now you have not used this keyword in your program, so it will be little harder for you to understand that things. So that is I mark some red, some words in red color. You just give the focus on that red color word. Okay, so that in that this way you can easily understand what is keyword. So in simple we can say the keyword is the pre-designed word which we are bound to use as by default. Okay, now we will move to the next one, that is identifiers. Now what is identifiers? This is identifiers are used as the general terminology for naming a variables, functions, and arrays. These are used define names consisting of an arbitrarily long sequence of letters and digits with either a letter or the underscore as a first character. Identifier names must differ in spelling and case from any keywords. You cannot use keywords as identifiers. They are reserved for special use. Once declared, you can use the identifier in later program statements to refer to the associate value. A special kind of identifier called a statement level can be used in go to statements. So now one example is there. So identifier means what? A general terminology for naming a variables functions. So we have to use some rules and regulation while we are naming a variable. Suppose you are a program is given to you that you have to add two numbers, two numbers. Okay, so adding the two numbers, what we are usually do, we have to take two variables. Okay, two variables, and then we will add them. So now the what will be the variables name? Normally in Java program we take as a and b. and the summation is c. So we are writing a, integer b, and finally c equals to a plus b. So a, b, c, these are the some variables. We are giving the name of the variables. It is only fully depend on us. Okay, so what type of name we are giving to the variables. So now the identifier used as a general terminology for naming a variables, functions and arrays. These are user defined names. Okay, and it will be start with a letters or a digit, with a with either a letter or the underscore as a first character identifier. Now you see the examples of valid identifiers. These are some valid identifiers. See, my variable, you can write my variable this way also, in short form also my variable, then xi, x1, then i1, then underscore my variable, then one dollar symbol my variable, sum of array Greeks 1 2 3. So see, while you are naming any variables, you cannot give any space between them. Suppose you want to write that sum of the numbers, so sum of the numbers, you cannot give space in between them. Otherwise, if you give space, Java will not take the numbers as a single variable. Okay, so if you want to give a space, in that case, what you have to do, you have to give an underscore in between them. See this one, the second last, sum of array, you can see one underscore is in between of sum and of, and in between of and arrow, that is underscore. You cannot give directly a space in between two words. Clear? So this is the some rules. Some invalid identifiers, that means some invalid variables are also I have given here. Say my variables, the first one. Why it is invalid, why it is not acceptable, the reason I have written here, contains a space in between my variables. A space is there, there is no underscore, you have to give the underscore. So if you want to make it correction, you just like to give like this way, underscore, then only it will take as a correct option. Okay, so it is a wrong identifiers. Now 1 2 3 Greeks, it begins with a digit. A variable's name cannot start with a digit. Okay, number 1 2 3. So it is a you can write a number alphabet as first, and after that you can add any variables, but at first you cannot add any numbers. The third one is a plus c. We are using a plus symbol here. So plus, minus, multiplication, division, any operator we cannot use in naming while you are naming in a variable. Next, variable -2, again one hyphen is given there, so that is why it is not acceptable. Hyphen also you cannot give, any operator, any symbol you cannot use. Okay, there. Now sum, underscore and underscore difference. Ampersand is not an alphanumeric character. Okay, this is not underscore. Okay, and this one, and also you cannot use and also as a name, to as a variable name. So you cannot use and symbol. Okay, if you want to write sum underscore a and d, and you can write like this way. See, a and d, this one is correct. A and sum and difference, this is correct form. Okay, so these are some rules which we should use, we should follow while we are naming any variables. Okay, follow my next video.